Cuba takes action against human trafficking network linked to Russia. Cuban authorities have taken decisive action by arresting 17 individuals connected to a human trafficking network based in Russia. This network is believed to be involved in recruiting Cubans to join Moscow's military operations in the ongoing war in Ukraine. This revelation was announced on Thursday by Cuban state media, which sourced its information from the Ministry of the Interior. In the follow-up statement, the Cuban Ministry of Foreign Affairs revealed that the trafficking operation has been successfully dismantled. This was reported by Cuba Debate, a media outlet based in Havana. Providing further insights into the operation, Colonel Cesar Rodriguez, a representative of the Interior Ministry's General Directorate of Criminal Investigation, mentioned that the trafficking ring was particularly interested in recruiting individuals with criminal backgrounds. Earlier in the week, the Foreign Ministry shed light on the existence of this network, explaining that it was focused on trafficking Cubans residing in Russia and even some living in Cuba. These individuals were then set to be integrated into military units participating in the Ukrainian conflict. However, the ministry was initially reticent about offering extensive details regarding the trafficking operations, only noting that efforts were underway to thwart and dismantle the said network. Addressing any potential misconceptions, Cuba was keen to emphasize its non-involvement in the Ukraine war. Meanwhile, the Kremlin has chosen to remain silent on these allegations. Historically, Cuba and Russia have shared strong diplomatic ties. This relationship dates back to the Cold War when Cuba was closely aligned with the Soviet Union. The bond between the two nations has remained strong and seemingly grew even closer since Russia initiated its comprehensive invasion of Ukraine. Cuba has openly supported Russia's actions in Ukraine, placing the blame squarely on the U.S. and NATO for sparking the conflict. In the face of an intensifying economic crisis, arguably the most severe in recent decades, Cuba has turned to Russia for assistance. Russia has been aiding the Cuban nation by sending essential supplies, including food and crude oil. Moreover, in the aftermath of the war's inception, the two countries have entered several agreements. These agreements revolve around Russia's commitment to bolster its foreign investments in Cuba. Ukraine's Air Force takes decisive action against drone swarm targeting Odesa. In the latest series of skirmishes amidst the ongoing conflict between Russia and Ukraine, the Ukrainian Air Force thwarted a notable drone attack aiming for the vital southern city of Odesa. Early reports on Friday confirmed that 16 out of 20 Shade drones heading for Odesa were successfully intercepted and destroyed by Ukraine's air defenses. The official statement issued by the Ukrainian Air Force on Telegram detailed the sequence of events that unfolded in the early hours. As per the release, when the drone threat was detected advancing towards the Odesa region, the country's defense forces immediately rallied to counter it. A diverse range of defense mechanisms, including anti-aircraft missile systems, frontline fighter aircraft, rapid response fire groups from the Air Force, and other specialized air defense units from various branches of the Ukrainian Defense Forces were pressed into action. Odesa, strategically located along the Black Sea coast, holds immense significance for Ukraine, serving as a primary port city crucial for trade and naval operations. Over recent weeks, the city has faced intensified attacks by Russian military forces. The predominant targets in these onslaughts have been the port facilities, vital conduits for Ukraine's food exports. This strategy has been interpreted by many Ukrainian officials and analysts as Russia's calculated move to disrupt the country's food supply chain, potentially leading to a widespread food crisis. The recurrent attacks on Odesa signify its importance in the broader geopolitical landscape. However, the decisive action taken by the Ukrainian Air Force as evident in the recent drone interception, showcases Ukraine's unwavering commitment to defending its territories and vital infrastructure. As the conflict unfolds, the resilience of the Ukrainian forces continues to be tested, and they consistently rise to the challenge, ensuring the security and stability of the nation. Zaporizhia faces Russian missile strikes, leaving infrastructure damaged and one injured. Tensions continue to escalate in Ukraine's southeastern region as Russian missiles rain down on Zaporizhia early Friday morning. The aftermath of this assault left at least one civilian injured, as reported by Yuri Malashko, the chief of the military administration overseeing the region. Some ramifications of the missile strikes were not merely limited to casualties. The city's infrastructure bore the brunt of the aggression. Anatoly Kurdev, the secretary of Zaporizhia City Council, gave a preliminary report on the extent of the damage. He indicated that the sheer force of the blast waves from the missile strikes shattered windows across the city. Numerous multi-story buildings were affected, and even educational institutions weren't spared from the destruction. As the city reels from this unexpected assault, emergency services have been promptly dispatched to the impacted sites. Both Malashko and Kurdev confirmed their rapid response, working to offer immediate aid to the injured and assess the overall damage. Such incidents underscore the continued volatility of the situation in Ukraine and the urgent need for de-escalation. The people of Zaporizhia, along with millions of Ukrainians, are in the crosshairs of a conflict that continues to disrupt their daily lives, safety, and well-being. The international community remains vigilant and concerned, hoping for a swift resolution to the ongoing conflict.